Welcome to GOODWorks WNC. I'm Michael Truffin. We're here at Travinia Italian Kitchen, located in Biltmore Park Town Square. And this segment is sponsored by Ideal Finish Mobile Auto Detailing. With us is David Starkey, the director of the Asheville Lyric Opera. Welcome, David.
Hi, Michael.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Why Asheville? Why start the opera company here when it was established?
That's the number one question. Why Asheville? Over these 18 years of the Asheville Lyric Opera, people said, why did you start an Asheville, a company in Asheville, North Carolina? I came from New York City, and it was a situation where actually Asheville chose itself. There were a group of us in the artistic community in New York, and we came up with 5 criteria that we felt would literally be able to transform the 21st century performing arts organization. Those 5 are a artistic community. Well, we know Asheville's got that. We wanted to have a community that had institutions of higher education and advancement, Michael. Asheville's got plenty of that. We also want to have a community that had a center energy of focus. That meant the city had a focus to itself. It localized itself. Well, Asheville's definitely developed itself into that. The 4th criteria was that we needed to have a community that were givers, a spirit of philanthropy. That is all over Asheville, and it continues to exude each and every day. And lastly, but not least, it was also an educational center that was able to drive live entertainment. And the optimum word is live. And that is very important in the reality of how people connect. So Asheville chose itself, and we're living it out every single day, Michael.
Very cool. So how does opera make a community better?
Well, how an opera makes a community better is because each community has music, each community has theater, it has literature, it has all of these creative disciplines to it. And as these professionals continue to work and connect with these things, they naturally come together. What happens is that creates a work. Well, the Italian word for work is opera. But it's not just a lowercase w, it's a capital W, which is also opera in Italian. It's a capital O. That means it's a big work. And so a big work means that a community must come together to be able to do things better as a community than being separate. Opera represents that, it drives that, it actually asks people to thrive within that. So we think opera is the ideal scenario to have as a representation of how you take all of these multiple disciplines that happen naturally every single day in your community and bring a greater connection together. That's opera.
So you all have been doing this for 18 years. Who's been impacted by this effort?
Well, for it to happen for 18 years, that means you must have a champion or multiple champions. And what a champion means is that it's somebody that can rise to a moment in history to take something to a new place. So I had that person in Robert Moffat 19 years ago. Very important gentleman in our community. We've had other people that have come along like Perry Sprouls, Belinda Brandon, and Clive Possinger. These champions have been able to come into a moment of time as Asheville has matured and developed and take this opera company to a new place. Now, those are the people that we know with, and we mention them, but the whole community is actually a champion because they have been coming to our shows, supporting us, and being alongside us as we go through this journey.
So arts and education, how does opera cover it all?
Opera covers it all because an artist is actually someone that must develop every single day. I'm an artist. I have it in my DNA of how I need to grow and get better because my craft is constantly evolving. That means I must educate myself. If we had that philosophy, if we took that as a basically a champion point and we instilled that among our community, then opera can not only become a thriving force as a representation, as we talked about the work orientation or the opera, it's really understanding that opera and artistry drives this creative culture that we live in Asheville every single day. And you know what? It's just sort of a natural, unique metaphor of who we are. So opera, education, yes, it does cover everything.
So 2020 is coming. I know the Lyric Opera has a vision. Tell me about that vision.
The vision is something that you've got to really stretch and look for, and that's what we've decided to do in the 18th season. 18 years means that we've come a long way and there's a lot more to do. So we've decided to have a campaign for the next 3 years as we lead to our 20th anniversary that our programming, our financial planning, our recruitment of leaders, our relationship among our community and our region is all driven by this vision to look at who are the changers in our community and identifying them and asking them to come and join the next generation, the new team. This is not going to be an opera company anymore about a founder, myself, or singular artists, or a singular champion. We actually want everybody to be inspired by how the people become the changers. And we believe that that can happen in our organization.
What's the real heart that you hope shows up in the opera? I mean, what's the real passion? I see it on the stage, but talk about the lyric opera, how, what's the heart? What do you really want to squeeze from the community on there?
So I think you're asking me about sort of what's the pulse? What is sort of the inner beat that's happening? Well, I believe the inner beat about the Asheville Lyric Opera is really the inner beat of Asheville and the region. I believe, like I said in the first answer, Asheville chose itself. It was already there. It just needed to be able to be sort of refined. So I consider opera to be the crown jewel. It's all of the assembled parts that are beautiful on their own, but the magnificence that comes when they're all assembled together, now we are dealing with something one of a kind, unique, and on top of the head of everything else that we do.
So it kind of makes opera the exciting place to be. I mean, it sounds like it's an exciting few years
It's definitely the it, because opera becomes the top of the food chain. It incorporates everything. I can have a banjo in the opera, I can have a beautiful singer, I can have a writer, I can have a dancer. Whatever you come up with, we can possibly come up with it. Operas from Muhammad Ali to Don Giovanni. Stories that come from wars to passion of love. There's nothing that's missing. That way, we cover so much. We have a growing audience that is just coming in droves to see all of these different productions that we're doing at the Diner Rhythm Theater or in the downtown sector. Now we're asking these people to come as a team, come and join the team, be an investor, be a leader, be a champion for us. And as these new generation come in and join something that we've built for 18 years, they will discover that there's something in the vision of going forward.
So you all are open and welcoming and want to bring energy in. You all are the it place to be. How can people get in touch with you guys? How can they sign up?
Our website is very important to us. Also, our e-newsletter. So when you go to the website, there's an immediate welcoming right there of a box to say, please join our e-newsletter. This is a conversation like you and I are having right now, is we ask people to join and research and learn about the different offerings. It's not just stage plays, it's the free concerts that we give. It's the scholarship opportunities for young artists. It's the ability to be able to volunteer and be a part of an exciting team as we go into our 20th anniversary. So you go to our website, you sign up for our e-newsletter, or you know what? I would love for you to call me at 828-236-0670, and I would love to talk with you so that you can share your passion and let Asheville choose its future through opera.
Thank you for sharing that. Obviously, you guys are doing good works in the community, and we're glad to have you here.
Well, we thank you, and we think GOODWorks is part of how you and I go forward together.
Thanks to our sponsor, Ideal Finish Mobile Auto Detailing, Travinia Italian Kitchen. GOODWorks is presented by Crunch Media.